Good morning, good morning, good morning. Riley and Van Gogh here, checking in. We are ready to start the day. I have packed up our things and everything is ready to go. So we are at this place called Kimberling Creek, just north of the North Scenic Highway, US Route 52, where the Brushy Mountain Outpost is. And like I said last night, we might stay at a hostel tonight if we can walk far enough. There's a hostel called Weary Feet Hostel that I think has reasonable prices for camping, for tenting outside. And getting there would allow us to, it would allow me to spend some time uploading some YouTube videos, which I haven't done since being in Damascus, I believe. So that was a while ago. And my last video that is set to upload is actually going to upload tomorrow, or it's going to publish tomorrow, and then I don't have any more. So tomorrow is Sunday the 16th, and then I don't have any more scheduled after that. Anyway, so if we can get there, we'll stay there. If not, then we won't stay there, and we'll just tent. But I would like to get to. I definitely want to stay at Woods Hole Hostel. That's like an iconic AT landmark that, and they serve really good. They're all vegetarian. I actually didn't realize that they were all vegetarian until just a couple days ago. They make really good meals. I think I'll really enjoy the meal. One person that I saw at a shelter recently said that she stayed there and they made pumpkin lasagna as the main course for dinner. And they always make a homemade salad I think they grow everything like on site. And they make it family style. So they make plenty so that everyone can eat as much as they want for dinner. They also make a breakfast too, but I don't know that I would have room for breakfast, but, yeah, so I'd like to get to Woods Hole tomorrow if possible. Anyway, but we got to get through the day first. We got to start walking and enjoy the day and be safe. We had a good night last night. So we will sign off for now and we will check in later. All right, bye for now. All right, now we're really ready to start hiking. I got my pack on. Riley's all strapped in. And got my trekking poles, but I realized I forgot to say what day it is. Today is Saturday, June 15th. And today's day number 44 of our AT through hike attempt. Those were the two main things that I forgot to say. And yeah, so Kimberling Creek is where we're starting. It's about mile 592.9, I think, on the trail. Okay, we'll check in later. Hello. Van Gogh and Riley here checking in. Day is still young, but it's going well so far. We did a steep ascent out of our campsite, and made it up to the turnoff point for Helvy's Mill Shelter a while back, and we continued on, of course, and we're doing fine. We haven't stopped for any breaks yet. The day seems a little bit cooler than yesterday, but that's certainly possibly because it is still early in the day. I think it's still before noon. And we have some decent shade, so that's nice. Mr. Riley, show your face. Very good. So, day's going fine so far. No major updates, just wanted to say that. We'll check in later. All right, bye for now. All right, so Riley and I took a break a short while ago. Not a long break, but a short break, and then we decided to continue on. And we're walking, and oh, what's that? That looks like it says 600. Or maybe it says go or goo. No, I think it's 600. 600. Mr. Riley. Congratulations, Riley. 600 miles. Okay. So, in terms of today, that means we are, by the way, before I finish my thought, I was going to say what road we're close to, but yeah, so what that means is that we're close to Virginia Route 611. Pretty close. I think we're pretty close. And I guess what that means in terms of where we are is that we're about 10 miles away from the road that leads into the Weary Feet Hostel that I mentioned earlier. Anyway, but that's just a minor detail. 600 miles is pretty cool. Definitely cool. Nice little feather in our cap, or feather in my my hood, my orange hood. By the way, when we were leaving yesterday out of Brushy Mountain, I keep calling it Brushy Mountain Outpost for some reason, but when I actually looked at the restaurant, it said Brushy Mountain Trail Shop, I'm pretty sure. So I'm not sure where I got the name Brushy Mountain Outpost from. Probably from other hikers that have called it Brushy Mountain Outpost, perhaps. But it seems like the official name, according to what it says in the store, is Brushy Mountain Trail Shop. But anyway, when we were leaving there yesterday and walking the 0.8 miles that we did to get to our campsite, we crossed over that big bridge. So there were a few roads that we encountered there. The first road that we were on that goes right by the Brushy Mountain Trail Shop is US Route 52, called North Scenic Highway. Sounds like a cool name for a road, but it wasn't a very big road. It was seemed like a country road. Didn't seem like a US, like a fully United States highway, but that's what it was. And then we quickly transitioned to Virginia Route 612, and then that's the road that had the bridge on it where we crossed over that big highway, and that big highway was Interstate 77. And then we continued on Virginia 612 all the way to the parking area, where we re-entered the woods and immediately found that campsite that we stayed at last night. And now we've been in the woods ever since then, for about 7 miles or so. And the next road that we're getting to, which I think we're pretty close based on that 600 mile marker, assuming that's accurate, is one down from the previous one. So we were at Virginia 612, now we're getting to Virginia 611. So many roads to keep track of. I mean, we don't need to keep track of these roads, they're just roads that we're passing by. There's a lot more roads that we cross in Virginia, I've noticed, than there were in Georgia and Tennessee and North Carolina. All right, so that's all. One more milestone, mile 600. And that's literally like, not a milestone, but like a mile marker. And it's also a milestone. All right, Van Gogh here, and Riley over there checking in. We are at Virginia Route 608 now. This is just a standard road crossing, and we're about 1.2 miles after Jenny Knob Shelter. And for the last 20 miles, we've been in like a water desert area where there just hasn't been any on-trail water sources. So 20 miles ago, I loaded up on water. I got like probably 3 liters that I took from the good water source 20 miles ago. And that lasted us into today. I was expecting it to last us basically up to this last stretch where I knew that there was supposed to be a good water source after Jenny Knob Shelter. And it did last us up to that point, but I was thirsty and I was ready for water. And so there was supposed to be 0.7 of a mile, a good water source, actually 3 good water sources starting 0.7 of a mile after Jenny Knob Shelter. But everything was dry. And at this road, this is like the last point in my guidebook where there's supposed to be a good water source. And this is the best I can find. Just this kind of the collection of water here. There's other stretches along the side of the road where there's a pooling of water. And for the next 7 miles, there's no good water source on trail, as far as I know. So I've collected water from, this is probably the worst water source that I've experienced on the trail so far this year. I generally expect to find flowing water sources in the woods, but there just haven't been in the last 20 miles. And so I collected water here. Since it's not flowing, I used this thing right here. Sorry, this thing right here, where I can just like pump it. I submerge it in the water, and then I'm able to pull the lever up, and it'll collect water inside here, and then I can push it down into my bottles here. All right. So anyway, not an ideal water source, but it's not the worst water source. It's not dirty as far as I can tell, like extremely dirty. The water seems relatively clear, and when I put my hand in it at least is cool to the touch. It's not warm water. So, I'm definitely filtering this water. I filter all my water, but definitely glad I have my water filter to use for this water here. And I'm leaving with 3 liters to last us for the next 7 miles. That should be sufficient. And Riley drank a whole liter of filtered water a short while ago, along with his food. And I drank some as well. So I'm not leaving thirsty, and we have plenty of water here. It's not ideal, but I think it's going to get the job done, and we're not going to die of thirst out here. So we're going to get some more hiking in today and get back into the woods, and we will check in later. Bye for now. Quick check-in. Van Gogh and Mr. Riley. Riley is walking behind my legs here. So the daylight is dwindling here. I'm guessing it is closing in on 9 p.m. I've not checked the time, but that's what the daylight tells me. We have not yet made it to the road where the turnoff would be to go to that hostel that I mentioned, Weary Feet Hostel. But I think we're getting pretty close. But regardless, I don't think I want to go to the hostel either way. Obviously, if we don't get to the road and we need to just find a campsite, then that'll be that. But if there's a campsite at the road, or if not, I think there will be a campsite shortly thereafter. I think I would prefer to just take the campsite rather than hike into the hostel. I think it's
close to maybe a half-mile walk just to get to the hostel. So that's one reason. The main reason, though, is that my main source of motivation here is actually getting to Woods Hole Hostel tomorrow, if possible. And going to the hostel tonight, Weary Feet Hostel, doesn't really help me in that goal. If anything, it would allow me to post a bunch of YouTube videos, and that would just threaten to destroy my sleep tonight, which means I would get off to a slow start tomorrow. And from the road, it's 15.2 miles to get to Woods Hole Hostel. And to make it in time for dinner, we would need to get there by like 6 p.m. All right, it's getting really dark as we're hiking through under the trees now. But I've been hearing the cars for a while, so you must be getting close to that road. I think it's Virginia Route 603. And there should be a suspension bridge, a large suspension bridge, like right before we get there. And I believe the bridge goes over Kimberling Creek, which I think is where we started at. I mean, it's like a different portion of the creek, but according to my guidebook, where we started at today was near something called Kimberling Creek, and where the suspension bridge near Virginia Route 603 goes over, that's also called Kimberling Creek. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Anyway, so the update is that I'm not inclined to go to the hostel tonight, and we just need to find a campsite. But I would like to get down to the road if possible. I think we're getting close, so we'll see. I'll check in later. Well, it is dark, but it's just been like less than 5 minutes since my last update, and we have arrived at what I believe is the suspension bridge. Riley is pulling me up here. Yeah, this is definitely a suspension bridge. Riley does not seem very comfortable, so I'm gonna... Oh, Riley. Hey, Riley. Just follow me, buddy. Just follow me, Riley. Okay. Riley, this way. All right, I'm gonna have to get Riley untangled here. All right, so I'm going to cut the video here. It's not really possible to see anything anyway, so we'll check in when we get to our campsite. All right, hello again, Van Gogh here, and Riley is beside me, but you can't see him. I'm actually trying to point my camera at the moon, and I think it just shows up as a very faint dot. I'm standing outside our tent right now. Riley and I have found a beautiful little campsite. It's really just a flat piece of land on the side of the trail that's just big enough for our tent. We crossed the suspension bridge and got down to that road. I think it's Virginia 603. And we could have camped there, but I crossed the road to see if there were campsites on the other side, and there weren't. And then we just kept on hiking. So I think we may have hiked like about a mile in, and fortunately we found this campsite, and I used my Kindle to help with the light to get it set up. And while we were hiking, the moonlight actually was really helpful to illuminate the trail a bit so we could see. Anyway, I'm tired. Riley's doing fine, and we're gonna get in our tent. And this is really my favorite time of the day. I just love being able to finally relax and get in our tent after a long day, a good solid day of hiking. I still don't have my Far Out app because of my power issues, so I'm relying on the AT AWOL guide, but it's hard for me to check it. I haven't checked it in detail, so I'm not sure exactly what our mileage was, and plus I don't know exactly where we're camped right now. But I would estimate we did between 17 and 18 miles today, and I would estimate we have about 14 miles to get to Woods Hole Hostel tomorrow. So that's where we are. The important thing is Riley and I are safe and sound, and we have our tent set up, and we're going to have a good night tonight. And we'll try to get off early in the morning. So that's our update for Saturday, June 15th, day number 44 on our AT through hike attempt. If you're watching this, I hope you are doing well, having a good evening or night or whatever time of day it is for you. And we will check in tomorrow. All right, bye for now.